According to a recent court filing by Fani Willis, the Fulton County District Attorney, I don't even need to say that anymore. I think everybody is familiar with who Fani Willis is. But anyway, according to a recent court filing, where she was, of course, addressing Mark Meadows' testimony in a Georgia court last Monday, Willis pointed out that it sure as hell seems like Mark Meadows committed perjury. At least that's what legal experts are making of Fani Willis's motion in the court. But let me read you. This is what Fani Willis wrote in her court filing about Mark Meadows potentially lying under oath during his testimony last Monday. And that testimony, in case anybody wasn't paying attention, was him trying to get his case moved out of state court and into federal court. But here's what Willis said in her filing. Earlier, the defendant contacted another Secretary of State official and inquired whether the Trump campaign could, quote, speed up a signature audit by providing funding directly to the state. And after insisting that he did not play any role in the coordination of slates of fake electors throughout several states, the defendant was forced to acknowledge under cross-examination that he had, in fact, given direction to a campaign official in this regard. Specifically, the defendant wrote an email, States Exhibit 1, in which he said, quote, "We just need to have someone coordinating the electors for the states," and attached a memorandum written by co-defendant Kenneth Chesbrough recommending the organization of slates of presidential electors to meet and cast votes for Mr. Trump in states Mr. Trump had lost. So to kind of sum that up, Mark Meadows, during his hearing last week, said, hey, I didn't have anything to do with the slates of fake electors. I wasn't working with the states to do this. I wasn't talking to anybody. And then when Willis's team got to cross-examine him, he was like, okay, well, yes, I did. I did coordinate it. I was talking to secretaries of state. I did go ahead and arrange the phone call between Donald Trump and Brad Raffensperger, which is, the reason any of us even got indicted or investigated in the first place here in Georgia. I did, even though I told you an hour or two ago that I didn't. Cool. That's perjury. That is a prosecutable crime. It doesn't matter, by the way. If you come back later and correct the record, that doesn't matter. That doesn't change the fact that you still lied under oath initially. And you would have maintained the lie had Willis not had all of this evidence to prove that you were lying. So here's what could happen now. Either Willis could decide to hit Mark Meadows with perjury charges, or Jack Smith could choose to now indict Mark Meadows, because Meadows was one of the unindicted co-conspirators when Trump got indicted. He could choose to indict him for the January 6 charges, and he could add the perjury charges onto that. Meadows is screwed, folks. And the more Meadows screws things up for himself, the more likely it is that he is going to become so desperate that he could cut a deal. And out of all of the other co-defendants, Mark Meadows is the one who obviously was the closest to Donald Trump. He was Trump's right-hand man through all of this. He is now facing very severe legal consequences that he, unfortunately for him, keeps making worse. So this is the prime guy to cut a deal, and Willis now has him by the you-know-what. And she needs to start squeezing to get this little piggy to squeal. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.